Good morning. Oh, we have Nicole and Jeff. Hi, welcome to office hours. It is the hour on the dot. We can wait and see if we get some more people, but honestly, welcome Jeff and Nicole. If you have a question, no reason why we can't get started and go from there. If you want to raise your hand, if not, we may just have to wait a little and see if we get more people in.
I've got a question.
You
I know
do,
I was
perfect.
emailing yesterday, so might as well get it over with here.
Please, absolutely. Get us started. Thank you.
Uh, I've got looking to add um, points and hours to an event that happened back in December, and I was able to do it or get to the point to do it, but I was getting an error message that it's like a duplicate basically. Um, so want to go in and do that.
Can you see my screen?
I can. Yep,
Okay. You're Rocky Mountain, right?
we are. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I took a look at this yesterday, and I see that it looks like somebody has already applied. So this is why you're seeing a duplicate. Somebody has already gone into and bulk uploaded 4 points or 4 hours for this event. Um, So just for everybody else that's on the call, your points tracking module is under the website tab. And just because I've done some research into this a little bit, I know that we're talking about the RMGPA conference all access. And um, I'm going to check all, but really it's approved points. So I'm searching. Um, so we are talking about the 2025 Winter Conference.
Correct.
And what is the last name of the member?
It is Haran, Haran.
Okay. So I do know that you've gone through and taken attendance for the winter conference and approved hours up to 4 hours, but you had a second day. And so the reason that it's not letting you import the hours for that event is because it's already been done. And so a workaround for that I would suggest is you have set, let me just try this. I didn't want to test it without you. So since you're coming to office hours, I want to try and test it with a different category. Have you tried to log hours for this category?
I did, and I think I tried both and got the error message for both. I'm pretty sure yesterday.
Okay, let's give it a go. I'm gonna go and highlight the title instead of selecting it from the drop down. And that was on, okay, so here's what I think we might be able to do. Since it's trying to say you've already logged points for this event. This event, I know it was on December 1st, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, so this was day 2. I'm gonna mark it as December 2nd.
Okay.
And would
You
it
have
be
to
4 hours?
change, you have to change the year.
Thank you. Would it be 4 hours? Okay,
Correct.
let's see if that goes. Points is required. You don't do points, do you?
I feel like we do, but haven't really gotten low down on that. So just put a number in. I can always like remove this or
Okay.
delete this entry.
You have a dot? You have an extra dot, Kaylee? Maybe
I thought they
that's
wanted that.
yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe full point in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks like it went through.
Okay.
But that went through as submitted points. let's check and find submitted with that date range. What? Hmm.
Ending.
Oh, okay. Let me see if her profile has pending points. Okay, so they're submitted. How am I to, oh, I see, submitted date. So it might be searching by the date submitted. Let's go back to the points module. When I was setting the date range, I think maybe it was asking for submission date range. Okay, so submission date range is today. Okay, so it's going to take it. Do you know what I'm doing here? So basically, instead of here, I'm just going to go ahead and review this and accept it so that she has those hours.
Yep.
Changing it to approved and save. So I think what the workaround is here is when you were in points and hours, is it possible you were choosing from an event that I had attended and choosing a drop
Correct.
down? So I
Yes.
think that's just kind of a Club Express thing that we were able to find a workaround for, because that linked event in the drop down box already had points recorded. It didn't want to allow you to assign more. So I'm glad that we were able to find a workaround for you in that case.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
And Jeff, you understood all the steps, correct?
Yeah, the
Okay.
steps was fine. I was figuring it out on my end, but yeah, just trying to refine that or the drop down thing, searching from an event that they've attended, I think was a little bit of an issue there too. But yeah, I think I'm good.
Technically, if it's a case like this, you can just stray away from the actual title of the event and just say, 2025 Winter Conference dates.
Sure.
If you are just trying to get an accurate history of points and hours in her profile, so for some reason, it's just a little bit tricky with double logging points with one event. So that's a good workaround for you.
And you can, in the options, if you're not using points, for instance, you can make it not required. So yeah, here, for instance. So if that's something you wanted to do down the line, you can just make it unrequired, so it wouldn't be there. I don't, it could have been decided by somebody else to have it included. I
It,
don't know. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yep. Great. Thank you.
Anybody have a question? If you have a question, please raise your hand and let us know. We have a small group today. I know there's a lot of people attending NIGP forum. So yesterday I did want to mention we did send out the schedule and the plan for training and office hours moving forward. So hopefully you all got it. If you don't, just put it in chat and I'll give you the link to the flyer. Oh, okay. Let me finish here and then I will get to your question for sure. We will be doing, if any of you are responsible for setting up elections in your chapter, we will be doing a training next Wednesday at noon on how to set up using the survey module, how to set up elections. We also explore a little like if you have somebody who is being considered in an election who is a full admin to the site, for instance, and they might be able to log in and see the results, and you don't want them to do that. So there's also how you can kind of lock that down for that period of time in which the election is going on. So there's different ways of doing all that. So we're gonna go into that training next Wednesday. So all right. Is it Angela? Did you have your hand up? You had a question? I have Turner A. I think it's Angela. You have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay, I'm a membership chair, and I know since they've changed the system, the way it looked, I was trying to produce because I have an agency was running a membership drive, and they wanted to pay for 4 members, and so I wanted to figure out how to generate an invoice so I can put all 4 employees' names there, and it can come up. And I was trying to, we couldn't figure out where to go to do that.
Did you want me to take that, Kaylee?
Yes, please.
Okay. What group are you with?
The DC chapter, DC Washington DC chapter, NIGP. Yes.
And do you have a specific name?
Yes, I have it's 4 names, and their names may not be already in there. I do believe Rachelle Samuels, but I don't know if this is on the chapter level. So Rachelle Samuels. So where are you going? Okay, you're
Okay,
going under
so
there.
I'm sorry. So I'm logged in. I'm going to the control panel, people
Mm-hmm.
tab, people manager,
Okay.
and then I'm going to change this to check all and change this to both. Just because I want
Okay.
to, as long as I'm going in here, I like to see if there's duplicate profiles and try to clean that up every time I go in. I'm not finding a Samuels. Am I spelling it
Right.
wrong?
It's Samuels.
Okay, so there's
Yeah,
nobody in here
so
with the last name Samuels.
right. Okay, so the next one would be Oktar is Akhtar. And I checked there. I know they're not in there, and he is not in
Okay.
there, I don't believe.
And do you have a third name?
Yes, is the spelling of it is I-N, I is an M, igloo, N is in Nancy, Y is in yellow, A-M-A.
So the University of the District of Columbia.
Yeah, but she's no longer there. She's at another agency.
Okay. And then any other names?
The other name is Taylor, Taylor. First name is Bernard.
Okay, again, duplicate non-member.
Mm-hmm.
What is the
Okay.
organization? Let's look up that.
They both work for the Office of Contract and Procurement.
Company.
Contract and
Office of,
procure, Contract and procurement.
this one here? The Office of Contracting and Procurement here?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it looks like Brenda Allen is the primary member. There
For
was a
whom?
member that expired last year, but Brenda Allen is currently the primary member,
For
and
whom?
under her, she has no secondary members.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. But so the 2 individuals, because they didn't work for, well, Rachel Samuels worked under Brenda previously. But so
So
how?
what?
So my question is, how do I generate an invoice? So I
So
have to
you
go look their names up. I can't just generate an invoice and then go in.
no, you go to the primary member. So Brenda Allen is the primary, and we're going to go to her profile, and
But
then up
she's the
here
primary member for whom?
for that agency.
No, I don't
And
think.
if if it needs to be switched, we can switch it, but currently she's the one who paid for the primary membership for that agency, Office of Contracting and Procurement.
Because I'm part of the agency and I didn't go on. I'm not listed under her. Okay.
Um, well, let's see let's add a filter here and look up member level, primary. And let's go back and just do active and members. So, okay. You have a lot of primaries.
And I guess that's how if they sign up individually, they may be selecting that. Just like my name is Angela Turner, and I have them here in this individual primary. So I'm assuming when they individually pay for it, they must be selecting primary.
Yeah, they're doing individual. So, so I'm just going to go back here and look at one thing. Control panel, the people tab, and your member types. So you have chapter individual, which would just be one member, no secondary. And you have chapter agency, which is one member, and you have the ability to have secondary members at the same price. So it looks like some of your people from that agency, contracting and procurement, chose when they joined, they chose as a chapter agency, and others chose as chapter individual. Chapter individual wouldn't have any secondaries, but chapter agency has the ability to have secondaries.
Okay.
So under Brenda, there's no secondaries, but if we look, we could look at all of these to see if any of them have secondaries. The only difference is when you're charging the same price, $35 for each. So the only difference with having somebody be a chapter agency is that person would be in charge of paying for themselves and anyone else underneath their account. Everybody under their account, all of the secondaries, would have login credentials, but when it comes time to renew, they don't pay for the renewal. The primary does.
Okay.
It doesn't. Go ahead.
So I understand that. So just like and so I'm assuming that when like Miss Brenda Allen and a couple of them, when they do it, they don't know not to select agency. They mean to do it individually. Is there a way I could go back and change that to individual versus agency?
Yes. So if you want to do it, let's look at Brenda Allen's. You would go into her profile and you would go to member type, expiration, join date, and you would just change it from chapter agency to chapter individual.
Okay.
And that's all you do. I'm not saving that. I'll let you decide what you're going to do.
Okay.
Now that I understand that, now what you want to do is you're going to convert. First, you're going to look for any of the names that you originally had in there. I'm going to get rid of that.
So let me ask you this. Because say for instance, a person, they want to submit a payment for 4 different individuals and they want to pay one time.
That would have to be under a chapter agency. The one person who wants to make the payment would be the primary, and then everybody else would be secondaries under that person.
Okay, but say for instance, they're only doing it this one time. So just like myself, I'm paying for the 4 individuals, but moving forward, they'll be paying for their own. So is there a way we can just produce an invoice? Because once before I did it where I was able to produce an invoice. I want to produce an invoice, paid, and then go back in, and then I can join the individuals and then pay later, but then pay it then. Is there a way we could do?
Sure. Well, there's 2 different ways we can do it. Are they going to be paying by a check or paying by credit card?
I'm gonna be paying by a credit card.
Okay. So what you could do is you could create 4 new members or whoever the new members are.
Okay.
You had give me one of those names
that was already in your Samuels.
Samuels was in there? Oh, no, I thought Samuels wasn't in there.
Samuels.
Yeah, Samuels is not in there.
Okay, well, but Taylor. Bernard Taylor.
Mm-mm.
No, it's Taylor.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so the first thing I would do, and this is maybe getting into the weeds a little bit, is I would merge these two non-members. So I'm gonna go down to this one here, Bernard, and I am going to go to more options, and I'm going to merge with the other non-member of Bernard Taylor. And then click save. And so now there's only one non-member, Bernard Taylor, at Office of Contracting. And I'm going to edit his profile, just make sure that his, you'll probably want to put his, make sure his email address is correct, put in some contact information. But then I would go and I would convert them to a member. So more options, convert to member, and then select the member type, chapter individual.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would hit OK. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure you want to do this because I'm just walking through the steps. So that's one way you could do it. Okay. Then any of the ones like Samuel's, who was not in here, you would add a member up here and you would select chapter, individual, and then go through the steps, put in the profile information and everything. Okay, so now that's going to generate 4 separate invoices if there's 4 separate people you're doing. Then you could just clear those invoices out and say paid. Let's see, it'll help if I find an open invoice. So let's look here for.
Because how do you even create a Because last time I can't remember, it just looked so different from the last time when I did it.
The way to create an invoice is to make them a member. So as soon as you make them a member, it's going to generate an invoice. And then it's going to show this green check mark. And that means there's a balance due. So here, for instance, this person at the Office of Contracting and Procurement has a balance due. And if I were to go to payments, I can print an invoice. But since you decided you want to just pay once by credit card, what I would do is I would create the 4 membership, or the however many it is, 4 membership invoices. And then I would go here under select payment. When you get to the payment screen, select payment and just do something like process by separate system. And then you can add a note here that says Turner paid all by credit card or something. Whatever note you want to put in there. I'm not going to do that right now, so I'm going to pay later. And then what I would do, if you're the person who's making the payment, what you can do here under last name, and there is a recording of this, so you'll get the recording, so you can definitely go through these steps one by one. And you said you want to have the invoice. I would go in here under actions and charge, miscellaneous charge. I think it was 35 each, and let's say there's 4 of them. That's $140. You can put in a description here for memberships. You could even put the names of the 4 memberships because that'll print on your receipt. Once you pay this credit card charge, you'll have a receipt. And then here under select an account, it would be master dues. And I'm not going to hit save, but if I hit save, immediately you're going to get an email that says that you owe $140, and then you log into your account and you pay the $140.
Okay.
So that's the way I would do it if you wanted to only pay once, one time, one credit card. I would put in the other members, zero out their balance due, and then add a charge to your account to pay for all 4 of those or however many of those memberships at once.
So how do I get it to my account? By putting my name in there?
Yeah, that's what I did. I went to so here are you, and I went to actions, charge, and that'll automatically go to your account. Miscellaneous charge, 140 is what I put in, the description of 4 memberships.
So it'll clear it on their end what their name.
No, you have to manually clear each one of theirs. So again, if let's say it was yours and we added you and you had an invoice I'm gonna go back to somebody who
Okay.
has a payment.
So I put that in their name. I'll say payment submitted by Angela Turner.
Yes. So yeah, I would, if it were this person here, Tony, or let's find a member, if it's, you know,
The
you'd
other
go
was
into their payments.
Her last name was Inyama.
Yeah, you
She
would
was
just,
up.
once you created the invoice, this is not for one of your people, but once you created the invoice, you would go to the payment screen and you would go process by separate system, and then you could put a note in here.
Okay. So doing that, that's for the purpose of the treasurer. She'll see that so she can reconcile it against mine when I put the amount in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next question is, just like on the top, if you look on the top of the control panel, we got pending members. So what I would do when I go search, in the membership directory, I will go under pending. So I got
Yes.
2 pending.
Let's change this to last name, member status.
Pending. And it has the that's the prospective one. So it's all 3. So when I put that, I would go to action and hit approve.
Yeah. So under when you go to the control panel, choose member status, and then it automatically defaults to member status, but it defaults to active and expired, and you want to just unclick those and choose new pending and prospective. It looks like your student memberships must require approval by the board.
Yes.
So that's
then
what
when I
that
go
is.
over to actions.
If they're, well, pending would be if did they mail in a check? Then if they mailed in a check, the green check mark means that they owe something. And yes, you can go to the payments, and if they paid by check, down here you would say received check, the check number and the date, and then record check payment, and then that green check will be gone. The green check mark will be gone. I don't know what I did to my screen here. The green check mark will be gone, and they'll receive a notice via email that they've paid.
Okay. So basically right now when I go to people in order for me to look up to even do just to start from the beginning.
Correct.
Okay.
And then if this person was approved, but it looks probably like maybe not, because I don't know if your student memberships are a year, but this has been from March of 2026. But if they had been approved, you would click on prospective, and then you would click approve. If they haven't been approved, you can go ahead and either decline, drop, or convert to non-member.
Okay.
Okay.
At this base, so go to people manager, and that's when I do the lookup.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop sharing because I did something to my screen I got to fix. Got it.
Does that answer all your questions, Angela?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Great. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any hands up. Do we want to talk about configuring the social networks for anyone who doesn't have that activated on their site?
Sure. Kaylee, go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah, Ronnie, do you want to scribe this? Because there is a bit where I'm going to have to go into the look and feel.
Sure. Yep, sure.
Okay. I think this one would be a good scribe instruction. Okay. So yeah, there is a way that you can link your social media pages to your site in either this top header bar here, kind of like where you have the control panel, or you could even like pop it down at the bottom of the page by the footer. And I'm just going to show you the step-by-step to get that done. And social media is under the communications tab in the control panel. And it's here under social networking setup. So nothing is set up yet. on this website. There are 2 buttons to add a social network and options. I'm going to start with adding some. With a drop down here, you've got, all of the main ones. I'm just going to throw in some here. I'll add an Instagram. Cool. We'll just do 2. I think that's good enough to get the example going. So now that we've added 2, a button has appeared of display sequence. You can choose what order from left to right you'd like those to be in. Then I also want to take a look at options because we don't see it up here. We're going to have to go into the look and feel, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But under options, when we do go ahead and add the social media icons, they're not going to show up because under general options, we've chosen not to display it. So let's switch that over to display social networking. And we can keep this, or, it's up to you. Show share links and panel. You'll see that when I add it, share links would be if you were browsing your website and you want to share a particular page to your own Facebook, there would be a share link. So I'm just going to leave that share link there and you'll see it in just a second. Okay, so it's set up and it's ready to go, but we just have to add it to the top of the screen. Now, one thing I do want to say, a bit of a disclaimer, is administrators, there should have, coordinators, administrators, people who are helping you out on your website. Not many people should have access to the website look and feel. The website look and feel is customization that is applied over your entire website, and any mistakes that or changes that are made in that can affect the entire website. So it's not something that I would encourage anyone to play around in. Even if you do want to go ahead and set up this social media links, reach out to us. We'd be happy to, set it up for you, because another thing about the website look and feel is it can kind of be a little bit glitchy. And sometimes you make a change and something completely different changes with Club Express. So it can be a little bit finicky. And so I would just encourage you to reach out to us if you want any help with adding this. But I'm just going to show you what the social media icons look like. So we're going to edit the header here. And I started by building a row, a 50-50 row. This is the control panel buttons. We're going to put it on the top left side of the screen here. And if you were to click on it, we are looking for widgets and social. So I'm just going to click and drag that into that box. And you have a choice of standard, black, or white for the colors of the icons. You have to hit apply changes for those to pop up. So that's what the standard looks like. And you're not going to be able to see the white on white background, but we'll see black as well. And then I'm just going to save and close. And then with the website look and feel, you also have to make it active. And this is a title for this version of the website that I'm saving. Okay. So yeah, there they are. This, if you want to link your Facebook up here or your Instagram, and then this button would function for a user on your site wanting to share your homepage. And I'll show you, you can remove that one on its own. If you go back into the communications tab under social networking, let's say we decided we do not want to do the share links. and then go back to the home page, and it's gone. And then just to show you one more time that it is these two places to set up social networking. If I were to go back into options and just turned off social networking altogether, it's still loading, and now it's completely removed. So we just kind of wanted to walk you through all the different options and social networking setup. Does anyone have any questions?
Haley, do you want to stop the scribe?
Thank you.
So so certainly you guys could add it to your header or your footer, but you can also just add it to any page on your site, right? So there isn't necessarily a need to go into the header and footer in which to add it. So you could add it on your home page in a row or something like that. So there are options of other places in which to put them on your site.
And I would also say that that could be added to your emails, like in your footer of your email. You can add the social media links if Kaylee, you want to show them that.
Yeah, for sure.
Why
Under
don't you describe that, Kaylee, as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, so under communications, your emailing module is here. We're going to add an emailing. I'm going to skip the edit basics and add an element. And here it is at the very bottom, social media. That's it.
And lastly, because Haley was talking about how you can complete the capture, sorry. Lastly, how Kaylee was talking about how the website look and feel is glitchy. You notice that she created a name using the date. But if you ever do go into your website look and feel and something gets messed up, you can always revert back to a previous version. So all of those, like if she versions right now back to the previous version, the social media, well, the social media is already gone because she changed it to do not display. But if she were to go back and click on social 2 or the first social, any of those, she can activate one of those if she's somehow messed up the website look and feel, and then have time to figure it out later to get it to work properly. But yeah, the website look and feel is something we don't recommend you go into very often, because a lot of times what'll happen is the biggest thing it messes up is the menu. So this menu you're seeing right now is not my good menu, but we went into the website look and feel and it messed up our menu, and it's something that Club Express definitely needs to fix that, make that a little bit more stable.
And just to add for the versioning, you can pretty much do that. Like all of your custom pages have versioning. So if you create a page and you publish it by mistake or whatever, and you don't like it, you can go and revert back to an earlier version. I think you can do that with quite a lot of things on the sites, right? Right, Yvonne? There's versions for a lot of things that you can revert to.
Definitely the custom pages.
Yeah.
And that would be very beneficial, especially for instance, if maybe even your homepage, you add a row or something about an upcoming conference or a reverse trade show, and then the reverse trade show is over. Instead of having to go into the main version that's active and delete that, you can just revert to the previous version that didn't have that information on the page. That's up to you how you want to handle it, though.
Another aspect of that would be let's say you could also hide it on the page and then save it. So if it's something that you do regularly on your homepage or any page, when you're using it, you make it viewable, but then you can hide it when you're not using it, and then just reactivate it and show it again when you do want it. So that's another option. Thank you. All right, and we were going to talk a little about the news widget.
Yeah, yeah, I want to just show you just like a quick breakdown. I think most of the chapters are using the news widget, but if you're not, or if you have any questions about it, I just want to give you like a brief. In this example on our website, I did a little test of how it could look. Now, this font is white, it doesn't look great, but just ignore that. What I'm trying to show you here is just how the news widget appears on your homepage. This would be the title of the news article, and this is the category of the news article, the author, the date, there's a brief summary, and then you can click to read more and have, when you read more, that is where you're going to have the full news article content. So there's just a brief of what it looks like and how to set it up the way that you want. Go to Control Panel, and that is also under Communications and News Articles. So in all these modules,
Could I interrupt you and go back? Could we scribe this? We might as well, right?
yeah, might as well, definitely.
And just start at the beginning. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yes, so under Control Panel and Communications, the News Articles module. And this is the same with all of the modules, really. I recommend starting by setting up categories. So here under categories, I believe it starts with a default category of announcements. I've added special alerts and news. Maybe you only have news that you want to put out to your membership. But I wanted to show you what it could be like to organize two separate categories. So back into this crumb trail here, you can go back to the previous page. And by default, it is searching by ascending by date, active date. I did all of these on the same date. But I will tell you one thing, it will sort alphabetically as well, by category. So it will sort by date, most recent date at the top. But if you also have category breakdowns, it sorts by alphabetical categories after that. Okay, so I just want to show you under the configure article. This is where you're going to find what I just showed you. So I showed you where the headline of the article is, the author, the short summary or short blurb that shows up when you put it on a custom page, like I showed you on the home page. Then you can also change visibility options, or you can decide to maybe not have it show up on the main news page. So there's a bunch of different settings that you can choose, and then you can also upload a share image. So if someone wanted to share the article to their social media. And then up at the top, I think I skipped this one, you can change the category. So those configuration settings are set at the very beginning when you choose to add an article. But once you've already established and built an article, you can go back into them and edit them here. Then the article text is where you're putting the content of the article. And you can add rows into this to format it visually the way that you want it to. This is the standard Club Express HTML editor. So you'll have options to add links. You can add pictures. You can add emojis. You can, change the font, alignment, etc. And then last, I just want to show you some settings of how it can be displayed on your home page. So here under chapter news, we're showing special alerts category and we're showing news category. Maybe we just want to show news. So I'm going to show you how to filter out a different category by editing the page. Going into the active version, we were just talking about the versions. We're going to edit the active version. And we're going to go into this advanced editor. And we're going to right click in this grid area here and edit newsfeed widget. So chapter news is the title. We could change it to, let's change it to special announcements instead. You can change how many days of when an article is published, how many days that will still appear. And you can select which categories you want displayed. So since we changed this to special announcements, I'm going to filter out the news category. So we just want special alerts and announcements. We don't want news anymore. And save. Oh, I think I made one mistake here and switched it to a list view instead of a grid view. Okay, I'm not sure why that happened. Let's try this. Interesting. I'm going to cancel and come back and try again. Okay. Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on there.
You should be able to filter it by the categories. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be changing the, yeah.
It's not in the style, is it, Kaylee? It shouldn't be in the style.
No. So we can stop the capture probably. So just to let people know, most chapters use this for like award announcements, like you have your buyer of the year or manager of the year, or people use it for president's messages, right? That is a spot on your homepage that is high up on the page. Or let's say you want to do it for make sure you don't miss our upcoming reverse trade show, that kind of thing. So it's a place to put announcements that you'd like to, that is high up on your homepage. So here, the Washington chapter is a good example. One thing to keep in mind is, yes, the picture size for this is a rectangle, so and small. So any image that you're using. I should mention at the next office hours, I will be demoing image adjustment tools that I use to resize or crop or whatever images to put on the NIGP website and ones that you would be able to use. So.
Yeah, I have to maybe do some investigating because this was working last week.
Oh boy, that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you though. I mean, certainly that's how you use the news widget. It's just the whatever is glitchy is changing that filtering of showing the different categories. But most people just use it as the chapter news, and that can be what appears on your homepage. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Kaylee. I don't see any hands up. Well, we don't have anything else on our agenda. Once again, I will mention we will be meeting for those people who are interested in election setup for chapter elections. We will be doing a training next Wednesday. So please, Jennifer Steffen will be sending out Zoom links for that and the September office hours at some point today, is my understanding. So watch your inbox. And thank you everyone for attending today. And thank you to Yvonne and Kaylee. Appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.